conversation and chit chat today. I'm gonna start with the first one. Um, this one in my computer is right. It's just a little bit to the side, so I'm gonna be looking a little bit off because I'm going to be reading from the screen. And I hope you enjoy the video. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. I always really want to hear your opinions when I do these, so tell me what you think. I'll also tell you what I think when I'm done reading it, okay? So, this one is, am I the a-hole for not telling my former fiance I bought her dream house? 10 years ago, my fiance left me 38M a few weeks before our wedding. 10 years ago would be 28, right? When he was 28, okay, that's grown enough to know what we're going on, what we're doing. We grew up in a small town. We were friendly, went to the same school, but we never were in the same clique. She was one of the popular kids and I wasn't. A few years after college, I moved back when my dad got sick. I found a job in my field about 45 minutes away from home. I would help take my dad to his chemo appointments. Ooh, when you already mention a sick parent, it's like you already have the points there. So, sounds like a great son. It was during one of those appointments I ran into X. She now worked at the hospital. One day while waiting, I asked her out. And it turned out we shared a lot of same interests. It seemed like our relationship was going great. About a year or so into dating X, I moved into a rented house together. The following year I proposed. We began looking for a house. Wow, so we did it for 2 years. That's a good amount of time at the age of 28. Or 26, whatever. X always wanted to live in her grandparents' house on the lake near our town. Her family was forced to sell the house when the grandparents passed away because of an inheritance dispute. 6 months before our wedding, a chance event happened. The couple who bought her grandparents' lake house had grown tired of our snowy winters. It took them some work and nearly all of my savings, but I was able to buy her a dream house. Ooh. It was going to be my surprise wedding present. So I didn't tell her or anyone in her family my plans. This is a good thing. A month before our wedding, X and her friends went to Miami for a bachelorette party. I am not sure what happened there, but part of me doesn't really want to know. But I do know her high school boyfriend was there. When she got back from the trip, she broke down and she confessed she was afraid to get married and wanted to call it off. It was a mess. She later moved to Florida and married high school boyfriend. Oh, I hate the story. I hate this. I ended up moving back to the city for an amazing job. In the meantime, I still had the lake house. With the help of my mom and dad, we started to fix up the lake house. It took a few years. My mom and dad would look after the contractors while I was in the city. Having the house was perfect when everything locked down. Oh, this is recent. When everything locked down, I was able to escape the city and work remotely from the lake house. I now live here full time and work remotely. This summer we had the 4th of July at the lake house. My sister-in-law used photos from the lake this summer in her Christmas card. One of those cards made it to X's cousin. The cousin recognized the house. The Saturday before New Year's, X's mother and sister were at my front door. After pleasantries and answering the initial questions, they made an offer to buy it. I refused. They were not happy. A few days I got a long text from the ex. This was the first time in about 9 years she had talked with me. She called me an A for keeping this from her. Her family's blaming her for losing the house again. She then asked me to sell. I still have no intention to sell. Now her and her family are complaining on social media that this is some sort of revenge. Okay, this is what I want to say. Firstly, no, you are not. And the reason is you didn't buy the lake house with malicious intentions. Does that make sense? But your ex doesn't know that. So her family is justified in thinking whatever they're thinking because they don't actually know the full story. Now, I think that they're crazy because if they have wanted this family heirloom back to them all along, understanding why you bought the home. It was meant to be a present. Yeah, but a house is not a joke of a present. It's not an engagement ring which you can get rid of afterwards. And depending with who you are, some people can't get rid of engagement rings. They're expensive when you buy them. They lose a lot of value afterwards, and it's not worth it. So I would say no, you're not. What do you guys think? And would you bother giving her the explanation of like, I bought this when I thought you were gonna marry me, but then I kept it because it's a house. It's a house. I'm not gonna let it go. Okay. This one is, oh my god, let me just read it for you guys. Am I the for being mad my boyfriend won't make noodles the way I like? Okay, this sounds dumb, but hear me out. I've always been a picky eater, especially when it comes to tomatoes. Ever since I was a kid, my dad would make my spaghetti different from the rest of the house. I like having an essence of sauce flavor on the noodles, but not the overpowering flavor having noodles bathed in sauce creates. So here's where it gets a bit odd. My dad would separate my spaghetti from the family after putting the sauce on it, and then would rinse the sauce off with the sink and the strainer. I love noodles like this, as it is a nice subtle tomato vibe given the mild spaghetti. You guys, I'm a picky eater, but I don't do this. I don't like olives, but I will eat olives on pizza if I have to. Sometimes I pick them off, sometimes I eat them, but this is a lot. Okay. My 20-year-old boyfriend, my 20 and boyfriend 26. Okay, that's a good age gap. Okay, she's 20. Okay. Girl. Has known about this since we started dating. He always told me my few food habits were cute. We have been dating for almost 3 years now and moved in together at the beginning of the pandemic so we could be in lockdown together. Hey guys, that's a weird age gap, Miss Mamas. That's a weird age gap. You've got bigger issues on the sauce. And not to say now, but 3 years ago, when you were 17. That's a weird age gap now. Now, if you had started dating when you were 20 and 26, not too weird, but like, whatever. So we could be in lockdown together. Ever since we moved in together, he insisted on taking charge of cooking and all cooking related tasks, dishes, grocery, etc. And yes, I'm in the role of cleaning the bulk of the apartment. We split the other task pretty much 50-50 too. Everything was perfect, and he always seemed to be making my noodles the way I liked them when we had them. This was until last week when we last had spaghetti. We ate and everything was good, but afterwards he started teasing me, saying It's like the kids who discover that their parents have been diluting their apple juice. It's a tough, it's tough when it's happening, but you are also 20, so whatever. Y'all are weird, but yeah, the age gap is the weirdest thing. That's the weirdest thing. Okay, so let's read the edit. My boyfriend found the post and is not happy. I am debating pouring the sauce directly down the drain to spite him. So a lot has happened since this morning. Y'all may be happy to hear we broke up. We had a huge blow-up fight since he found the post, which led to me breaking up with him. He did not like being called a predator. Other people said the same thing I said. And I started to think y'all had a point about that, so I ended up breaking up with him. He attempted to plead with me a bit, but my parents pay our rent, so he can't afford the place without me, but I wouldn't budge. Now girl, why are you dating a 26-year-old who's broke? Never mind. Now some things I found out in the argument. First, he's not a pharmacist like he always told me. He works at CVS. Told you the age gap was weird. Second, he has actually cheated on me multiple times with other girls that go to my college. And lastly, worst of all, he has never actually been allergic to dogs and just doesn't like them. Why is this so funny? Okay. I'm glad you guys broke up. You guys were definitely not supposed to be together. I knew that the pasta sauce was just like a symptom of something else, because no person in a healthy relationship would ever respond this drastically to something. I think because you are young, you don't know how to trust your intuition yet. That was your intuition screaming. Not about pasta sauce, but about general deception and stuff, and clearly he's a liar. I'm glad you guys broke up because y'all were not right for each other. Yep, not ashamed to say it. Y'all were not gonna work. Okay, this is the last one. Let's see how long we've been here. Oh yeah, we can do one more. This one is weird. Am I the a-hole for giving my stay-at-home wife a written performance review with suggested areas of needing improvement? Yes. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. I don't even need to read the whole story to say yes, the hell you are. Okay. I'm 33, old enough to know better. Share one child with my wife, 6 female. She's 36, female. She has another daughter, 13 female, that lives with us full time, and we also have full custody of our niece, 15 FO. So you've got three kids, 15, 13, and 6 in the home, and they're all girls. The teens are each other's best friends. They share a large bedroom, which was done at their request. The dynamic here is pretty much mom and youngest daughter against the teens, with me being the referee between everyone. Okay. I don't like this. I already don't like this because I feel like the way it's being framed by a parent who is not, he doesn't sound as actively involved with this family as he needs to be, and the way he's seeing things just doesn't make sense. My wife has taught the youngest she can blame others for her actions to avoid consequences. She just says the word, one of the teens will get punished without question. There's no doubt she's my wife's favorite. I love her, but she's becoming nothing than an entitled brat. Taught young people, 6-year-old, 5-year-old versus teenagers. Again, it's giving you're not as involved with your family to truly understand the dynamics of the home, because teenagers are no joke. Especially when they have a younger sibling who most likely really loves them and really wants to be around them all the time, and they just exclude her because they're teenagers. There's no doubt she's my wife's favorite. I love her, but she's becoming nothing more than an entitled brat. As just a mere example, my wife had an appointment we both needed to attend. When we came back, it was apparent the pool had been used. They're not allowed to swim while we aren't home. As the youngest divulged, "Mommy, I was in my room coloring. I never There's still a lot of background noise, but whatever. After a relentless agreement, I was silenced, and she gave the youngest a very minimal consequence. The lying, blaming, and favoritism ultimately caused the teens to act out. Understandably, most of the consequences are done by giving them more chores, specifically the chores the 6-year-old has. No, that's not a good punishment. Chores are not a punishment. Chores are a contribution of the whole household. Everybody does chores. You don't punish kids by giving them more chores. You don't even. I've got a question. What do you guys think is a better punishment? Taking away things or giving them more chores? Now, here's what I think. I think that you can always use punishments as a way to get your kids to participate in things that they wouldn't otherwise participate in. A project that you were gonna do by yourself, and you use it as bonding time because you're trying to distract them from, like, being naughty and whatever. But chores are a daily activity or routine that you're distributing labor in the household, and you're teaching your kids to be responsible for the spaces they live in, how to care for the spaces they live in. Those are not punishments. I never once viewed any of my chores as punishments, if that makes sense. It was something I was supposed to do to contribute taking care of the home. The lying, blaming, and favoritism. Okay. Or as recent, they were removed from music lessons as a consequence. Again. As recently they were removed from music lessons as a consequence. I believe that they are so frustrated they don't even care when they verbally attack their mom after her unfair treatment towards them. After all, they already get blamed and punished for things they don't even do. From my perspective, lashing out gives them a release. We've had countless tiring arguments. She'd either not see her faults or we'd agree to do this and that, but it was never actually done. Yeah, you cannot leave the parenting of 2 teenagers and a 6-year-old to one person, especially women and mothers versus their daughters, because I think as women we tend to be very hard on our daughters because we know that the world is going to be very hard on them, and so we try to love them when they're young and then discipline them when they're older. But you need a dad in the dynamic. You need someone who takes the kids off of the main parent's hand. Being around teenagers is very hard, very scary. If you're a sensitive person, a teenager will cut to you. Those little kids know all the right things to say to get to you. You really have to be centered, and being a stay-at-home mom is a very chaotic, uncentered experience. So especially with age gaps with the kids, it really becomes hard. But I touched on how she needs to listen better, stop being biased, be fair in all her decisions, stop making rash decisions without taking all 3 kids into consideration. Yeah, she sounds tired. You need to step in more. I recommend her to give each child the amount of one-on-one alone time to speak, or just be with one another. So it wouldn't be an entire slap to her face. I gave her accolades on her strong points for other areas aside from parenting. I guess I felt this would work best because I could organize my thoughts on paper without her interjecting. However, it quickly backfired in my face, as it should. She was quiet the first hour after I handed it to her, then she completely exploded me, said if we're going to do this type of she'll get a private bank account and take off my paycheck every week. She further said the review was abusive and manipulative and sexist move. Am I the... You're not. You are for writing that thing down, yes, but you're not the a-hole entirely. You need to step up. You need to step up to the plate. You need to do a lot more parenting. Nobody tells another person how to parent. It's an unspoken universal rule. Which unfortunately means even as spouses, you don't really tell each other how to parent. What you both have to do is show up as parents, both of you, and hopefully you offset each other by both showing up, complement each other by showing up, both of you. It sounds like you're absent from the parenting and you need to find a way to just do more. You have a lot of young people in your family. They've got a lot of energy, they've got a lot of life, they've got a lot of experiences. You need to find time for some one-on-one time with each of them, some shared time with each of them, and then some family time as well, in addition to being the primary provider. If that means you do homework, Monday homework with one daughter, Tuesday homework with another, Wednesday homework with another, Thursday homework with everybody, Friday game night, Saturday family day, Sunday, like you need to review yourself. And also you have to realize that a communication style that you learn from corporate places is very sexist. Yeah, I'm sorry guys, there was a lot of noise in the background, but the sandwich system that you try to do is very manipulative. In the workplace, I found that I don't like when you tell me good things, so that when you deliver the bad things, it's more palatable. Just tell me the bad things, because a lot of people who don't have cultural context for corporate and the sandwich method, where you say a good thing, then you say the bad thing you really want to say, and then you say another good thing, they can come out of that saying, I got two good, one bad. That means I'm doing great. Instead of actually the two good don't matter, it's the bad thing that he really wanted to say. She got onto that and she didn't like it. I think that if you have ways of parenting that you would like implemented in your home, you have to do it. As the saying goes, if you want something done right, you do it yourself. I don't think your job is to be the referee in the family. Get your hands dirty. Get involved. Ferret out punishments when they make sense. Don't ferret them out like that one with your daughter, with your youngest daughter. She's your child. You don't need mom to approve the punishment that you're about to give her. The punishment is for lying and for hiding a wetsuit, and so you give her a punishment that meets your standards. Why are you picking sides? It's you parents and them